So let's talk about it because, we've got to hear it, Kingmaker. I have so many notes on this whole entire album. First of all, I understand why you're calling it Kingmaker. This is a masterpiece.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
let's talk about first. I want to jump into this song really quick. Play this at my funeral because when I first saw the title, I was like, oh, it's going to be a little down, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's a positive message about the hustle and the grind, and you're actually dropping gems about this industry.
I think when the song was created before the title was. I feel like Play This at My Funeral was like a State of the Union, and it's also the first record that gave us a nod on what the rest of the album should sound like. Like if I looked at this like this is my last album. This is the last thing I'm ever gonna put out. What do I want to say? What do I want to leave with the audience that how I feel, And so I think that was why the title was that, because it has nothing to do with me dying. It just has these are final statements.
Right.
These are things that you pick a square and you stand on it, and that's where this is the State of the Union. Here's how I feel about things. This is where I am in life. And I thought that was a great way to intro the album and as well as set the tone for the rest of the project.
Absolutely. Now, it's been 12 years since Napalm. What was it that made you say, Xzibit, like, all right, I'm ready. Let's step back in the studio. Let's get this done.
I wasn't being fulfilled in any other things I was doing. I could do film, TV, I could do all the other things, but my presence was felt in music. Right, and that's what I came in as a musician, and I think I could speak to my audience the most fluently through music. So I just started. To tell you the truth, I started this album like 4 or 5 different times.
Damn.
Like I would do a section of songs, and then I just didn't like it. And I refused to put something out that wasn't representative of what I felt right now. Because like I said, I could do a whole bunch of, fluff, but I don't think, I'm very aware of my culture.
But this album
and my
is
people.
nothing. It has no fluff. It's all it's raw.
Right. I needed my music to be a representation of where I am in life right now. No, nothing added to it. I just got to tell the truth, and you don't have to sell the truth. Right, so that's why I felt this album didn't need just putting songs out to just try to get people to move.
Right.
Yeah.
This album is definitely you got something to say.
Yeah, I did this for me. I couldn't leave my music where it was in 2012.
Right.
I couldn't leave my music where it was. I feel like I owed the audience this record.
Well,
I feel like I owe them.
You said that this album had zero industry pressure for you. And when I hear it, you say, you feel so inspired and you feel strong right now in this moment, you know what I mean, where you're at in life. So I love that. You wanted, is this a lesson that, of you, because you're doing it and you had to learn the hard way during probably your early major, like being on the labels and stuff, and now you have zero pressure. Is that because, you're doing it all yourself with your team?
No,
I gotta shout out Conor McGregor. Let's
talk
about that really
shout
quick.
out Conor McGregor. Listen, if I was doing this for money, I would have quit a long time ago. You gotta laugh to keep from crying. You know what I'm saying? But listen, it was an expensive payment in the. Can you get off TikTok for a second? No. I love TikTok just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? No, but listen, man. What was I saying?
We gotta shout out Conor McGregor.
Yeah, shout out
Greenback
Conor McGregor.
Records.
Listen. I love this play. Hip hop saved my life. It gave me a place to kick and scream, and get my things out and get these things out without hurting myself and others. Whereas my life could have been so different from where I came from. So, being able to come out with this record, I think that was the question, right?
Right. Let me ask you this. Let's move on to, because how was it when you got that call, that you were going to start working with Conor McGregor on this and this entire project? Like, because I remember being at Bobby D's office, and he had chimed in a little bit and was like, "See, we got something going on."
No, the album was already done.
Oh, snap!
The album was already done.
Okay.
And we had started looking at ways that we can get it out. Like, okay, so we're looking at a place where streaming is happening. The majors have been dwindled down from like 12 to 3, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Now, not only do you have to deal with radio, but you got to deal with playlists. And everybody's an artist because they got Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you exist in this fire hose of shit?
Right.
And
well, you have to make something substantial.
No.
I feel like it has to be
Listen, it was crazy because I wanted this record out several times, but it just never worked out. Never worked until we got to this one place. And now I think the audience has been drinking out of this fire hose for so many years that they are searching for authenticity. They are searching for, and they've been fed the McDonald's so long, they're like, I know what that tastes like. I know what that feel like, and when something stands out, people gravitate to it. And now I think that's the new feeling. And I feel empowered by that. I was like, you know what? I don't have to go and try to compete with that. I just need to do what I do really well.
Yes.
And that's why I felt like this was the time to do it. And everything lined up to actually go out. And then Conor McGregor stepped in. Bobby was like, hey, so I got an idea. Conor McGregor starting. I was like, the fighting nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like that guy? Like this guy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
He's like, yeah. And then I was like, oh, man, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know. But then I started thinking about it. There's no set way in stone for people to drop music right now.
No, there isn't.
And when I heard the DNA of why he wanted to start a label and what that was about and the real genuine place from where he was coming from, I was like, okay, cool. He's looking at this like he has something to prove, which is the energy I need.
I love that.
Because I need I
need that hunger.
Yeah. And he's willing to shoot over people's heads. Like, you know what I'm saying? Either love him or hate him, Conor McGregor, you know who he is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that megaphone is just as loud as any kind of music distribution you've seen, because the man promotes fights, himself, his companies.
Can he rap?
I do not want to hear Conor McGregor rap. And he doesn't want to rap.
I heard that.
Look. I think he's bringing really good and great people and smart people around him. Real label people who have label experience, bringing them into Greenback, and really like putting together a company that is fair and gives people empowerment. And he doesn't want to be in his videos and the records and all that stuff, even though he's in one of my videos. You know what I'm saying? But that's not his purpose. I think he's putting together a hub as everybody else is doing and bringing people together. And now I have the power in the company. So, we are looking to expand. You know what I'm saying? After we put this record out, I want to bring people in and into Greenback as well and be able to produce records. I enjoy producing records just as much as love making them for myself. Yeah.
Now, you and Cube on the same track. First of all, history right there.
Yeah.
And shout out
should
to
we
Cube.
Drop that one next?
I think you should.
That's the one, huh?
That's the one. Like, you saw the way everybody was feeling it in the studio.
Yeah.
And we got to shout out to Cube because he just came off the Dodgers. You know what I'm saying? He had his hands immortalized.
Yes.
TCL, Chinese Theater. And, of course, everybody's excited about Friday.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And he got the tour coming.
And he got the tour coming.
Cube's
yes.
on fire. Let's do it.
4
He's on
decades of
fire.
attitude. Man, he's doing it. But so are you. So the fact that you guys both linked
and
up.
I'm on his record.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that. So how did this conversation happen? Because first of all, everybody in the studio felt that song right now, For the Love, Ice Cube. And a shout out to Lorraine Chia. She's dope.
Yes.
First of all, she has a dope sound.
Yeah, thank you.
But I love the fact that you guys sampled Mobb Deep, Quiet Storm. It definitely needs to be
And I sent it to
on.
Havoc, too, before I put it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I sent it to him, and it was dope because, we were label mates on Loud. So for him to give us thumbs up, like, he's like, y'all did that. And it was different than anything that he's heard Flip. So I was proud of that. Yeah.
But I love both you and Cube have this like crazy, like hard, big goalie sound.
Yeah.
So the fact that you both were in the studio, like is it just a natural flow between you two?
Dude, I mean, first of all, you got to understand I'm a fan of Cube. You know, like I grew up listening to America's Most Wanted. So, you know, from my perspective, I came in, you know, a student, and I'm still a student, but now it's like being recruited to the Avengers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
It's like I really feel like it's a privilege to be here. And so this is the first time I got to work on Cube's record. I'm on his album. It's called Break the Mirror. And then he's on my record. So the synergy is the weather's calling for us to do something, you know, together. You know what I'm saying? So going out and doing tours with him is going to be something that I'm looking forward to. You know, doing some visuals for these songs. I think it really is about time. This is the first time he ever got on any of my projects.
Damn.
Yeah.
And how did it feel? Because you guys been friends for decades.
Yeah, since Up in Smoke. But it's I mean, just look, that's how the universe works.
Right.
You know, God don't open up doors until you're ready to walk through them, you know?
But let me talk about this really quick, because Leave Me Alone, that's a West Coast anthem.
Yeah.
That's a West Coast anthem. Y'all were
crazy.
feeling that?
Yeah.
That is definitely a West Coast anthem. Listen, Ty Dolla $ign, Dre on there. We know he's a perfectionist. How long were you guys in the studio?
Oh,
it's like he's a perfectionist.
It was like it was like, I don't know, walking up like brain surgery. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know if he's gonna make it. You know, but listen. Dre doesn't do anything for money. He does it because he loves it and he wants to do it. The fact that, you know, Dre was able to, you know, especially working on Snoop's record, working on what he's, you know, he has a bunch of stuff in the queue. But, you know, he made this happen for me. And I will always have a tremendous amount of respect for Dr. Dre, for our friendship, for our brotherhood. He made this happen. So, you know, Swiss Beats sent the music in, and everybody in the studio agreed. You know, Dre hopped on it. He did some co-production on it, which is fucking crazy. Dre and Swiss Beats on the same track. It's fucking, I don't think that's ever happened before. So that's happening for this record. And then Ty Dolla $ign, man, like, smashed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he killed it.
You know, and it's dope because there's a balance on this record. There's like legacy artists that you know who I'm, you know, you could,
I mean, listen, you got
see me with
Dr. Dre, Ty Dolla $ign, Royce the 5'9",
and then there's the new guys.
Yeah,
it's
you know
the balance
saying?
of the new. Yeah.
And the thing is that you have, and they're legendary. Redman, Be Real. But what really caught my eye is I saw you in an interview and you said that you don't feel like a star. And I'm like, you have star power. So how do you not feel like a star, Xzibit?
To be clear.
Yes.
We've done some really dope things with our art. And we've had a lot of people participate in this journey with us. But I think when I said I don't feel like a star, like I don't carry. I said what the actual quote was is I don't see myself that way. I don't carry myself that way, because when you call yourself a star, that means you are different than the people that you are performing for. I don't feel that way. I feel we all shit the same way. You know what I'm saying? And there's no magic fairy dust that emits from my fucking armpits that makes me better than anyone, right? I just able to make art that people can relate to.
Right.
So, you know, we all die the same way. We all going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I think what bothers me is when people do carry themselves that way or treat people disrespectfully or, you know, treat it like you. Listen, we all have bad days. I'm not saying I'm perfect or I treat everybody great. You know what I'm saying? Some people are dickheads and don't understand that, you know, timing is everything. Read the room. But for the most part, I love being able to give fans, you know, that time, you know, that picture, that moment, that conversation, you know.
And I've seen that moment in person. What you guys don't know is that when I got engaged with Guap, he took us out to dinner to celebrate our engagement. And then we went to Vegas together and we had dinner.
Yeah.
And then we went to go see...
The Spearmint Rhino.
No, we did not go to Spearmint Rhino. No, we saw a magic show. You better stop putting me out there.
David Blaine.
No, but the fact is we walk in the casino and everybody's like Xzibit, and you just so humble. You stopped. You didn't get irritated. You were cool with everybody. It just, the way you move is really with humbleness. And I love the fact that this entire album, if you need motivation in your life, this is what you need to listen to. You know what I mean? Even Kingmaker, when you're, I'm hearing it. When you listen to Kingmaker and you're going through some bullshit and you are doubting yourself and you don't know if you can make it, or if you don't know if you can pull it off. Listen to Kingmaker.
Yeah.
You're speaking to us.
Yes.
I mean, I felt like it was like at a sermon. I'm just telling you right now. I have so many notes right here. Shout out to American Idol. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Simba, you show love to Nipsey. I think that was perfect right there. And then also, too, like, you have Redman and B-Roll. Come on. There's nobody else, right? There's nobody else. And everybody in the studio was vibing Kingmaker. I'm telling you right now. Let me ask you a question. Kendrick, do you think he's the king of carrying the torch?
I think that's not to be debated. I think what Kendrick has done is remarkable, to the fact that he hasn't compromised his character, he hasn't compromised his art form, and the way that he is handling himself with class is a tutorial for everyone coming behind him. You know, I think what really resonates with Kendrick to everyone is that he's representing the W in a way that is able to be compared to what we've done and the people that came before us have done. And it's not about new or whatever. He's not trying to separate himself from what exists. He's just carrying on the tradition. And I think that, you know, especially in California, you know, it's really based in gang culture and that activity, that mindset. Not saying that that's the best thing, but there's loyalty and there's rules and regulations here. And he's been able to bring that into 2025 and really represent it in a way that
he knows how to walk that fine line. Yeah, he does.
It's not a fine line. It's only one line. And he's staying on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When people start doing all them other lines, like the podcast and all them other lines and all that, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this how we did it, and that's how we doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Yeah. We're not exploring new avenues.
And I didn't understand it, and it's so funny. Shout out to Tato, because I was like, I'm going to ask X this question. Kingmaker is a transfer of information, and we were all questioning that transfer of information. I don't need to ask you anymore. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This is what I get from it. The transfer of information is the gems that you're dropping us throughout this whole album to kind of keep us on the right path and kind of guide us. You know what I mean? With every day. So that's what I take from Kingmaker. Am I correct?
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to guide you anywhere.
Okay.
You know, if I die tomorrow, I feel like this album represents everything I was supposed to make since the beginning. It is that in depth of where my soul is. Right?
Yes.
I try to be as entertaining as possible, but I really left it all on the table here. If you know anything about me, then you know that I really left it on the table, right? I could have easily made a bunch of, you know, fun songs and a whole bunch of useless music, right? But I don't think that that's what needs to be heard from me. I don't want to be more popular. I don't give a fuck if I don't gain one more fan from this record. I did this record for me. And I know that the way that it makes me feel when I hear it, I know that the people who have been fans of my work are going to resonate with it. But the people who are looking for something real out of this world that they're living in now are going to resonate with it. And so now all I got to do is just, don't die. You know what I'm saying? And just, and just go, and you'll go out in front of the crowd and fucking smash. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I need to do. Just stay out the way. I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, now this record is going to now flip me over into, if I do want to make another record, I can. If I want to just put this record and just continue touring with my catalog as is, I can. But now I have the option.
Yeah,
this game will retire you, before you're ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, hip hop is a beast.
It is.
It is. So now I think we broke that ceiling.
I love that. You're right, because I feel like hip hop is the only genre of music where they tap you out at a certain age. Like country's not like that.
Yeah,
rock's not like that. Absolutely,
pop.
right.
Man,
it's just
Britney
hip-hop.
Spears could announce a tour right now and go. You know what I'm saying? She gonna need handlers, but you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she can go. You know what I'm saying? Niggas will go. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But hip hop is. But I think here's the thing though. As I looked at all this stuff and we were thinking about dropping this record, I started looking at everything, and I think hip hop is done. It's only 50 years old, 50 plus now. But now I think hip hop has grown to the point where it needs its subgenres. It needs, adult contemporary. It needs raid. It needs new age. It needs alternative rap. It needs, it needs categories now, because now they just lumping everybody, and now we're fighting over these 5 seats.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Right.
These 5 categories, when it is so much bigger than that. And they do it on purpose, because, you know what I'm saying, you starve it and you can control it. But I think we're in a place now where people are now understanding that we don't need a middleman. We can go directly to the consumer. We can go directly to our audience. We can talk directly to them, but it just make it so hard to actually get to them. Like, you have millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of followers, but you can only have access to maybe 2, 3, 5% of them. Right?
That's crazy, right.
Yeah. So they got to control the fucking the gate. Right?
The narrative.
But here's the thing though. We don't have to play that game. That's why this is so important. This is a test right now. Putting this record out, shooting over people's heads. I'm pretty sure people aren't happy about with the way I'm going. You know what I'm saying?
Why would you think that?
No, I'm talking about the powers that be, the people that are controlling what it is, like the playlist, the platform.
Yes.
Well, he's not on the Superman playlist from Super Giant from what's the name with the Ghost. Like, okay, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? But I've had millions of people get up out of their bed, put on clothes, drive to a record store, and pick up my album. You just doing shit for free. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yeah.
Exactly.
You getting a nigga to click for free.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying for this as an option. Like, people, like, invested in this career. So I owe them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I owe them to come back and feel this strong and sound this way and sound the way that I'm supposed to sound. Like, I owe them that. You know what I'm saying? And
how did you feel watching our listeners vibe out to Kingmaker?
Oh, it's dope. It's dope.
Just to see them, like,
it's really dope.
To see the certain songs.
It's interesting.
It's
interesting.
Why do you think it was interesting?
Because certain things, like, I've been living with this project, so I got my favorites.
Right.
But it's interesting to see other people and what they pick.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
yes.
I was like, oh my God, they like that. Like, I kind of know when certain things are going to hit, but it's interesting to see what people gravitate to.
Yes, and I love Success.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
I'm telling you, that's just dope how it
We
got
to shoot a visual to that too.
For reals, you have to.
Yeah.
And you know what? Shout out to you for having King T do his own song on your album.
Yes.
Shout out to King T.
Yes.
Come back outside.
Yes.
Let's play. Let's go, King T. Yes, I think that was so dope that you're giving flowers. And let me ask you, because I was curious, do you think being on the same label, you and Bone Thugs are gonna end up collabing?
Well, you speak and you shall receive.
I'm not a fan, I don't know.
Hey, listen. You know what? It was crazy because Greenback Records started as an idea. So me and Lazy were talking, and when I signed the partnership, I started getting calls like, "Hey man, how's it going over there?" Like, it's like, "Hey man, is it cool?" You know what I'm saying? Like what is they taking the temperature?
Yeah.
So I was like, "Listen, man, you got to look at it like this. What do we, what do we have to compare it to? They don't have a track record, so they got something to prove. We are coming off of doing a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? But we can't plug into this system now because I don't want to do a half of the things, a third of the things that people got to do now to get people's attention. I ain't fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? So how can we shoot over their heads? And it was like, listen, let's just go in a route that we have to do the work. You know? I mean, look, they're savvy business guys. They know how to build shit. They got the connections. Listen, only thing they don't have is the music business. But we are the music business. We've been in it long enough. We know how to do this.
Yes.
Just have our backs with the ammo. When we call for the ammo, just pass it forward.
Right.
And that's what's been happening with Greenback. So Bone is now fully on board. All 5 members are recording music. We've been doing shows together, so absolutely there's going to be an Xzibit Bone song.
Oh, my God. You guys heard it here first.
Yeah.
Yes, now we do have a couple of questions. Oh, where's Val? Okay, who do we have that wanted to ask a question?
You right there?
Yes.
You could go into that mic. I'll pick it up for you really quick. That one right there. Yes.
Okay.
You can move it.
I don't need to move it. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you
What's
go.
up, CC?
Hey, girl.
Hey, my name is Kiafa. From the city of Compton, born and raised.
What's up, Queen? How are you?
Yeah.
And Xzibit, first, I just want to tell you, your smile is to live for.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
Me being a creative and an artist myself, I didn't know what I was going to ask when I got here. I didn't even know I was going to have the opportunity to ask, so thank you. But I saw my brothers here, the Furnace, and so I heard you say you just started performing live with the band. Am I
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
How does that feel? Because I know what that feels like, but I want to hear how it feels for you.
It feels like I have a lightsaber, and I'm just whacking people's faces off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like Indiana Jones running from the boulder with the trophy.
That's what's
getting out of there. You know, listen. This is my first time performing with a band. When I knew what the album was, and I knew that I had been doing DJ shows for so long. I wanted to try something different. So, using inner ears, talking with EP, getting the band pieces together, figuring out what, because we have a bigger plan than what we have now. I've already planned this out. See, this is how I do things. I come with the bells and whistles, where I want to be, and then I work backwards from there. Right now, we're about a third of where we're going to go. The way this album needs to be done, if I had it my way, would be full orchestra, full film light production. Like, I want to do this album from first note to last note eventually. But right now, we starting with the 5 bands, but you know what I'm saying, the 5 members. But then eventually, we're going to get to the orchestra. Eventually, we're going to get to where all the visuals have been done and accumulated and then put together and cut together in one thing, right? And that's the goal. Like my I've reached my goal when you hear Kingmaker live at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's where I'm shooting.
Yes.
But it's too far away right now. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm shooting for. Right now, I'm just doing the 1-2 step.
It's closer than you think.
Yeah.
Because we were blessed to hear it, and I'll tell you, every song on there, leave it up to me, every one of them should be number one on the charts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you
Appreciate
ever
it.
need backgrounds when you at Hollywood Bowl,
That's
let
right,
me know.
yeah. Kingmaker live at the Hollywood Bowl. We did our job. We did our gig. Yeah.
You had a question?
Yeah.
You can come up to the mic really quick. This is your guys' chance, you know?
All right, X, I'm Chucky the Loke from Whittier.
What's up, bro?
I just got
How
a
are
quick question. Whatever happened with the liquid, was Liquid Connection?
The Liquid Crew?
And Tosh and Dafari, you ever going to work with them again?
Man, that's funny you say that, man. Nothing happened to the Liquid Crew. They still alive. They're still around. You know, King T actually started the Alcoholics. The Alcoholics are still here. You know, Tash is putting out a song called Attention is a Drug. We just did the remix. And we're all together on it. I think that was the first time we've been together since the Napalm record when we did Louis the 13th. So me, Defarai, King T, the Alcoholics are all on it. Yeah, it was dope. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a question? Come on in. Nella.
My name is Astrid, Northeast LA. I want to give you your flowers first and foremost. You're one of the living legends here in the West Coast. So I definitely want to give you your flowers. I want to tell you that in my generation, I was born in the 80s. Your music is just,
thank you.
It's up there.
I
It's up
appreciate
there.
it. Thank
Okay,
you.
so here's my question. You've worn many hats. Artist, actor, host, entrepreneur. Looking back, what's a moment of your journey you profoundly changed the way that you saw yourself, and how did it shape the man you are today?
I appreciate that. But I believe a man's true legacy is determined by his children.
Amen.
So I was a really young father. I was 19 when my first son was born. And so there's only two things that you could do. You can either rise to the occasion or you could fail miserably. There's no middle. There's no at that time, right? So I had to make a lot of choices early. A lot of maturity had to happen early on. So, you think that, and this is about as real as it's gonna get. We do a lot to provide. We do things in the name of providing for our people, right? And really what I've realized after all this time is that time is the most valuable thing we have. I spend a lot of time in hip-hop, away from my people, away from my children, here for you guys. Like, making these records, spending nights on buses, hotel rooms, on stages, some better than others. But now, having my son, be damn near 30, and my 15-year-old, you would think that having all these things and bells and whistles and a house and this and private school, no, the problems become different. They don't go away; they get different, and they come in different ways, and it's just as heartbreaking and it's just as difficult. Life keeps lifing, So I think now on this page, on this time, on this journey, I think my priorities are different. My goals are different. My purpose is different. I don't want to be impressive to anyone. I'm not buying any more fucking cars and jewelry and fucking, I'm not. I don't want to impress the hoes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tapped out. You know what I'm saying? Me and you, the whole thing is done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be present for my people and my family and my fans. I want to be present for them. But it has to have a balance. You know what I'm saying? When I go and I'm with my people, it's there for them now, right? I don't bring work home with me. I don't have a studio at my house. I don't have any of that. When I'm home, I'm home. When I close that door, it's them. And that was different than before, right? So I say all that to say in a roundabout way that I love what hip-hop has done for my life, but I won't let it take my life.
That's
and
a gem right there.
And I'm going to continue to make music as long as I feel it in my soul, but I am going to work on the relationship with my children, right? Went through a nasty divorce. I'm pretty sure I don't have it's not a big fucking secret. It's been everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I haven't said one word about it. But I know I love my boys and I love, my children. So wherever that takes us, just know that that's my focus. And however we come back around full circle, I'm here, my door's open. I'm not going to pull him in any kind of direction, but he love his mama. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to be the guy to tell him anything different. You know,
That's dope.
but when that door opens, just know that you always got that conversation waiting.
Thank you. I love that. Thank you so much.
How do you feel you get to stand in front of Xzibit and ask him a question? You've listened to him. You love him. I can tell it means a lot to you.
I was introduced to hip hop when I was probably like 8 years old, and it was my older brothers who introduced me. Shout out to Jailer, rest in peace. He introduced me to hip hop, and honestly, it's been a roller coaster ride. I've freaking loved it. You've been one of the top artists on my list, always bumping it. My kids know who you are. My kids know your songs, and it's honestly, this is like full circle for me. This is so amazing. Thank you to KDAY. Thank you to CC. Thank you to you more than anything. Like I said, you are a walking, living legend, and I want to give you your flowers that you are here present, because I think that we wait too long until people are gone to really acknowledge who they are and what, how big of a part they've been to our lives. And I honestly think that you are an amazing artist. Your lyrics, your bars, everything is just top tier.
I appreciate it.
And I just want to say thank you for giving all of us this opportunity, because not a lot of artists will do that, for their fans. So thank you very much. I appreciate you. And thank you, CC, of course.
Of course.
The queen of LA right here.
Yeah, CC.
Well, no, I'm just saying. No, listen, everybody, you got to pre-save it on Spotify, please.
Yes.
Pre-save it on Spotify. And yes, I will ask you this question, because I seen this on your Instagram, and I said, okay, so at Jeffro Kata said, hey, Xzibit, dope track list. I wish Marshall Mathers and Calvin Brodus were also on the track list. What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on?
I gotta bring that, we got to go ahead and shout out Snoop. We love Snoop,
Yeah, shout out to Boss Dog, man.
Is it hard because, like you said before, it's timing. Timing's everything.
I'm sure if it's going to happen, it will happen. But, I can't wait around. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Everybody's doing their own thing. And we've done records that have been, real staples in hip hop. And listen, I think that if there's an opportunity for us to do a song together, it'll happen. But right now, I feel very strongly about the people that have been involved in this.
Yes.
And showed up, you know what I'm saying? And listen, everybody has their own calendar, everybody has their own time. I would love to do a song with Eminem again. I would love to do a song with Snoop Dogg again. But listen, hey, everybody got their own thing going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just like everybody got their own favorite song.
But every time, but look, everybody who's supposed to be on this album is on this album.
That part, yes, exactly. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna take home Success with me.
Yes.
Leave Me Alone. Yes. Play this at my funeral.
Yeah.
Genesis. I'm telling you right now, every song.
I don't think there's been a time that Swiss Beats and Dr. Dre have worked together on the same track.
Damn.
Yeah. Like, if there is, please, somebody, I'm pretty sure there's some hip hop historians somewhere out there. Yeah. Let me know. But if not, I think I got one. Yeah.
No, you do. Yeah. And like you said, a lot of our listeners are like, please, more visuals. They want to see that. And I love that.
Yes.
Xzibit, I love you.
I love you too, CC.
I love you. It goes beyond a radio personality and an artist. This is family right here.
Yes, absolutely. Hell yeah.
He flew in today for you guys especially. Yes. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for even considering having, my little voice on this.
Stop it. Stop it.
I feel like you too. I'm just it's
I called I called her. I called her. I was like, yo, is it could if I use your voice on the album? And she was like, okay. Well, what are you gonna do? But it worked out really good. I knew it was gonna make it on there, and I like everything that's on this album happened at the right fucking time, and I'm really glad that you were there and you could see this thing happen from the ground up. Yeah, it's really dope, man. Everybody really pitched in and got this thing across the finish line. Shout out to Focus, 3 Dots, Aftermath producer. He really stood by my side, and he really was like, get your ass up, Xzibit, and fucking put this music out. And, you need those people that kind of kick your ass behind the scenes and be like, you got to stop doubting what's happening and just get it out. And he was really like one of the motivators to let me keep going on this. And then Big Duke, Like shout out Tato, he brought in Big Duke and Quest, the engineer, at the last minute, and then and all the records that you hear now except 2. There's only 2 records on this album that are from the original sessions. I'm not going to tell you which 2 songs those are. I want somebody to make an educated guess and see which ones. But there's 2 songs from the original, the first session and the second session. But everything else is new. Has been done within the last 8 months. And Duke came in and put a battery on my back. And Quest came in with the engineering, and I could do it at the speed and the pace that I wanted to record at. And the energy came back, and then it was like, oh, man, we got it.
Right.
We got it. We got it. Right. And then we were ready to put it out, and then we was like, hey, the Drake vocals came in. Like, wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't know that was coming in. I was like, oh, shit. Okay. Oh, shit. That was going bigger and bigger. Then the Redman vocals came in. Then it was like, oh, shit. Like, oh, wait a minute.
It fell the way it was supposed to happen.
The divine timing. I used to, like, try to get in the way. They're like, why is this people doing this? It's like, wait a minute. Shut up. Stand back. Let you did your part.
Yeah.
Let it happen. You know what I'm saying?
No, you did this.
Yeah.
You did this.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys right now, make sure you guys save it on Spotify. And of course, it drops May 16th.
Yes.
So
May 16th. Yes.
I'm telling you, I know, right? They're saying it's too far away.
No, but look, there's work to do. There's work to do. There's word to spread. You know, like we're living in a place where things get drowned out or things get discounted or, you know, kind of pushed to the side. And I understand that. I understand there's going to be an uphill battle. I understand it. I mean, even our greats have issues, you know, cutting through the noise, right? But now it's about sharing, about the intent, you know what I'm saying, the representation of what this means to me and to the fans. And I think if we activate the right people, our audience is going to be there. You don't need 100 million, 200 million, 500 million motherfuckers, you know, streams, which don't pay you really shit, you know what I'm saying, to activate real audience. You know, you could do a lot of damage in the whole music industry with 8,000 people. Imagine if we organize 1 million. And then we saved our audience for the next people we care about, and then let them come on board, and then it can be done correctly. So hopefully this is the beginning of that. Greenback is going to be a safe place for artists to create. And, you know, I'm going to go out here first and show people, you know, like.
Well, you even left some space on some of the songs, like if they want to kind of give it their own flavor, right?
I
think that's dope. I ain't never heard nobody say that before.
It's. I mean, but look, there's 20 songs on the first one, and they're going to be we have a deluxe that we're going to release after there's 20 songs in the original, and the deluxe is going to add 5 to 6 new songs, and we're going to do that 2 months after we drop the original on May 16th.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Xzibit Kingmaker. Thank you guys so much for having us here. Give it up. We did that. Yes. Oh, man. I love you.
Love, man. Come on now.